Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm going to talk about why if there's a point where you are moments where like you feel like you're caught off guard and not prepared. I feel like there are times you want to be with someone and there is a point where they hit you with a I love you, or if they're not if they're not if it doesn't seem like the other person is showing like real interest in being in a relationship, yet they seem loving, and that's actually important to realize. It's because you want to be with them, and because you love them for you admire them for who they are. However, it's not. They probably don't see the same way and right way, and that's very important to understand. Is that not everything is people who are in relationships they see they have their own perspective for their own individual way. So when they see that way, they were able to the way we're able to know is by communicating. However, when you feel like it's not enough, then you may feel like what else is there to do? Then you may not. Then you feel like you're stuck and nothing's really happening. No one's the relationship isn't developing, isn't going the way it is. It's not. Don't say the word. Don't give it a as. Then it's not going as planned. There's no plan unless you communicate to make one, and if that's something you both are willing to do and to think about talking and actually committing, doing the way we're able to. The moments a lot of times where we wonder how this you you realize new things about the person right away, and then you would think about why didn't you say this sooner, or why didn't you tell me this from the beginning, or something like that. And then thing is that it's not always like that. I feel like it's the reason why people are like that is because they are not trying to keep the ones who want to be open with you. They're not ready yet. Maybe they're not prepared how to word it for you, or not ready to present that particular side towards you or for themselves either as well. So it's not always going to be easy to think about how that will be. One of the things I think about when it comes to the wonders of it all, why things why it takes why it does take so long for people to really understand it and know each other is when for those couples at least they would think about how they would learn more about the other person. You feel like you both are ready to open up. However, the person is doing something else to distract themselves from you, and then maybe because they have certain priorities that they have. However, that's not really how it's supposed to go. One of the priorities is to let them know and communicate both is let them know what needs to be a priority and what isn't, and understand that there are important things outside of the relationship that needs to be focused. However, uh, it shouldn't be used as a distraction. It's basically it's something that if you communicate and say something along the lines of, even though this is your focus, it seems like there's a distraction from the main priority, which is the way we're supposed to, the way we meant to communicate, probably the way you both communicate for how the relationship in began. It seems different now. It's because maybe there's ways to communicate differently. Maybe the way you both communicate back then and the way you communicate now are different because you both are different. So what's most important key things to understand is that you have to adapt your way of communicating. Actually, sometimes you may have to actually um, take charge and actually let the other person know right then there. This is how we used to communicate. This is how we all communicate now, and this is the way I believe we can, based on based on the past experiences we have like communicating visually, we can actually use we find ways to communicate more efficiently, and we find ways to become more open and honest with the way we communicate without making it seem like we're out of focus of the way we are. Right, so you get to that point, you now at a point where you're communicating in a way how ever doesn't seem fun, doesn't seem right, doesn't feel like everyone is, doesn't seem like both are listening, and doesn't sound, and doesn't seem like you both are understanding. All these go together, and it will show that you both are putting effort into all this. And then there's also the fact that how much time do you both communicate? Do you talk to everyone now and then, or we have weekly, daily, or anything like that, monthly, or anything? That was something about. There was this video I saw where people would, as a couple would talk in, like, go in a cafe and just talk to each other every month about the way they are, and set themselves into a way to become more understanding of each other. They talk about their goals, and they talk about what they want within this point of in their relationship, and they use the previous time the recent times when they communicate as a way to learn from, to make them go forward better. And that's something that is very important to realize, is that they are able to find themselves really well in that way, because they are actually putting effort in, putting themselves, probably perhaps it's the environment they're at. Maybe it's the environment where the surroundings, they surround themselves with something more freeing. For example, if you communicate outside or inside, that could be something. The maybe the surrounding, maybe perhaps it's the way you communicate, and the way and where you're at, where you communicate, to be a big factor of how you can be more open, and that could actually work in your favor, both of you. That's something to keep that in mind. The thing I mentioned in the beginning is the fact that the moments where you feel like you're caught off guard, maybe not prepared to, maybe you or the other person isn't prepared for certain phases or steps of the relationship, and one thing that is that are very important to, if it's very important to point out what's important to you, and also vice versa. It's also important to listen and understand what's important to them, and that will be able to bring you both forward within the ways where you can point out the reasons why you're caught off guard. Maybe you feel like if it's maybe it's you think about the pace of your relationship. Maybe it's not, the pace is way too slow or too fast, or there's so many different ways you can do about it. Maybe, for example, if it's slow, it can find a way you can become straightforward with the person and let them know that why you feel like it's this or going slow, and why you want to like speed up the way the relationship is, with the idea of making it seem more, seem natural, because you don't want to just go all in. It's usually doesn't work like that. And if it does, it actually doesn't, because it doesn't work that way. However, for the ones that, or for the ones who feel like it's going officially fast and you want to slow it down, maybe one of the best things to understand is that if they're overwhelmed, or if you're overwhelmed with the way there's so much within the relationship that feels like so much, or you may need some space, or basically not space as in breaking up, but more space of you can let them know that there are important things that they need to focus on, and understand that does defeat the stuff I tried to mention earlier. However, it's different because the difference is you actually know why it's important. You understand that the relationship is a priority. You understand that the relationship is a priority, and everything else is secondary. However, there are things that it does need to balance itself throughout all this, and when you're able to communicate that way, and you feel like it's you're going through a fast pace, you can able to do things you can while also slow down, and maybe it will give everything time to breathe within the relationship, the task you do within when you're in a relationship, to help you understand that you'll be able to get into this healthy routine where you can be more calm and within the relationship, and not stress out too much, because the you feel like the speed was messing up the relationship. However, when you find when you set we both are able to set the relationship in motion with effort, and the way it can you both can overcome the stress when others, and maybe not even realize that the relationship feels stressful. Maybe you may feel something, but you may not understand what that is. So that's something very important to do, is to learn why things were stressful for you in the first place, and that way throughout the relationship you can understand that it will, how you can make things healthy for you, and that way build a special bond between the both of you, where it feels like it works so well, where points where you may never felt like, you may think about, once you go through the routine of it all and communicate really well, you may think that wasn't so bad. Maybe that it was, you may feel like you may also feel that you were stressed over nothing. However, even though nothing was something, perhaps if there was something stressful and you feel stressed, it will take time to within a relationship to feel what you rightfully deserve to feel, and with using time to your advantage, you'll be able to there are points where you may feel like when you were back then, when you felt stressed, or you may feel like you are going through something stressful, you may feel like that would be a problem, and you may feel like that would be a problem within the relationship. But then once you were able to understand that, if you're able to overcome the stress, you may realize that the stressful thing that seemed like a problem was never a problem at all, because maybe you want to find something to stress about, because it was, you were caught off guard so much, to the point where you felt like you wanted to looking for something to fix. So you want something to fix, you may feel like you completed an objective, and you complete the objective, or made you feel good within. However, it's not always the case when that. It always depends on this, so it's not a one size fits all. It's something very important to understand, that why it's all the way it is. There are times when you feel like, when you're overwhelmed, you may feel like you want to feel more, you want to be more confrontational or defensive. It's something very important not to do that, and there are times when it's important to clarify and be clear by saying, understanding the dilemma better with also being more open-minded and ask open-ended questions about the way you all of these things, and there are points to understand too. There are times when if it depends on the pace on the relationship, it's understand too. It's important to set boundaries that for each other because it's you're able to manage the situation more effectively, and there are times when you want to probably not talk about work or school or anything like that, or anyone else outside of the relationship. Uh, with maybe that's something that is also important to them. However, it's important to understand that there are things that they need to. We both have to brainstorm things together because it's when you both are communicating, you're having that conversation. So when you have a conversation and you're problem solving together, you're not dwelling on the stress, and you're working on the ways to follow up your possible solutions, and you'll be able to compromise and work well together. And I believe that this is one of the better times to use the quote I statements. That way you want to accuse anyone or accuse your partner of anything and make things worse for both of you. You may say something like, I feel overwhelmed, instead of you're stressing me out. That would be important to understand why you both were able to be crystal clear on everything within all this. And I do mean everything. Once you communicate, if you understand, if you find ways to communicate more effectively, that will actually go in your favor, and that will actually work for both of you because you both are able to, will be willing to, if you both are willing to communicate efficiently, that will actually work on both your favors because you both are you both are learning from each other. So that's very important to realize all this. If you both are willing to learn things together, you are communicating together back and forth, and that will actually will be a good thing, and that will actually work in your favor for the both of you because you'll both be understanding of how to problem solve together, and that will work really well. And it's important to follow up with each other and figure out how the progress is going. And there are times when you may feel like you both are busy, and not too busy, or maybe or you are out of nowhere feel stressful. So it's important to offer support for each other and understand that that's how life is. It's not always you're always going to feel like you may feel reminded of something that could actually really be important. So maybe it's something else that's important is maybe, if, for example, if you both are not communicating with each other, you both can also reach out to both of your friends if you or both are willing to ask for a third opinion, or if you both are interested in communicating with someone who knows based on the experiences you've been through, or if you are both researching things and both are doing research on how to become more supportive for each other, that will actually be very helpful for both of you. And communicating in the end of the day and for other day is actually a skill that people use to to gain strength within themselves, and that way when you are both able to overcome the challenges and all this, it will actually work in your favor because you both are able to get the hang of it. So that's actually very important to do so. I hope this help you out in some way. It's important to use time because it's using time to heal everything else will help you in the long run. And something someone said once, and that really stuck with me, and that I think about that a lot. And it's always about the, having patience within yourself, and that's something that's not easy to hear or heard something that's worth thinking about, let me know how you feel with this video. Comment if you have anything you want to add or anything like that. If you had any experiences of that, that would be awesome to hear down below. And yeah, please subscribe. I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday at all times where I feel like I'm trying to think of some video ideas. However, it's not always easy. However, I want to. Oh, and of all, it's a lot of fun because I get to talk to all of you. So that's actually the best thing about me being on this channel is that I got to do something different than I usually do. I actually love making videos here. I would love to keep on going. So let me know. Let me know if you are enjoying these type of videos. Please give me suggestions. I would love to have more video ideas from all of you who are the ones who are watching. It'll be a lot of fun to watch something that's like a win-win situation here when we both communicate within the comment section. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. This episode is available on Spotify for podcasters. And please follow me on Instagram right here so you can see when I upload new video, and also subscribe if you are interested. Alright, have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you next time.